Everyone, Christian here, and I'm doing a vlog on a palm that I thought I had done before, but I guess I can't seem to find it in my videos. So here is Butia capitata, the Pindo palm or jelly palm, whatever you like to call it. I call it Pindo, but I rarely call palms by their common names, but these are, when a palm's pretty common, I'll call it by its common name. But anyway, so this palm is been a staple in the subtropic U.S. for probably well over a century. However, recently this palm has kind of lost some popularity in, I'd say, parts of central Florida, definitely in South Florida because of its inability to grow well there, and I'll touch on that later. So Butia, most Butias come from central South America, like as in subtropical South America, where it does get a little chilly, and as a result they are quite cold hardy. So this is quite an old plant. They do not grow that fast. So if you can see here, there's probably almost 10 feet of trunk on this one. And I also want to show the difference in the variability in this species. So you can see here, this one's quite leggy. It isn't shaded at all. But it does have long leaflets that stretched out quite a bit, and they're a little bit more relaxed. And then this one here, this one also has a thicker trunk, but this one has a much thinner trunk, and the leaflets are very upright, curved, and shorter. And although this isn't the variation, there is one called Butia capitata variation strictor, meaning it has very upright, stiff leaflets. And it is quite rare. It's quite desirable too. And there's been all sorts of Butias that have been found throughout South America, and they have been cultivated in the U.S. Just kind of by accident. I've seen dwarf Butias that get about 2 feet tall. I have a picture of it somewhere, me standing next to it. But yeah, both of these plants. So Butia capitata, there's some controversy as to whether this is actually capitata. They think it might be another species like Eriospatha. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it may be, but they think that if they go back into some of the DNA analysis, they might actually find that this is a different species than what they originally thought before they had that sort of technology. However, it's still called capitata as of now, and probably will be until vastly proven otherwise. It's just been known as that for such a long time. So it is nice looking palm though. It has, bluish silver leaves. It can have anything from really silver leaves beyond this color, which is, I don't know if you guys can see that, but to just straight green leaflets. And it can have a thick trunk. It can have a thin trunk. It can be a cultural thing, or it can be genetic. So it might just be because it's getting a lot of water. So these tend to like more water down below. Then up in the crown. They can rot in very wet areas. And getting back to the growing in the tropics, if you go much further south of here, you won't find that these grow very well. I've seen a couple in Miami, and they are not, they don't really look that good. They are usually they're somewhat stunted in some form. Either the leaflets or the trunk just don't look very good. And it seems that Butia, along with many other species of palms, like to have a prolonged cool period, and Miami often can't offer that many years. So, speaking of cool, it's actually, I think summer's finally broken here. It's probably in the low 70s, and it's pushing 10 o'clock, which usually would be 85 by now if it were summer. So, feeling pretty nice out here actually. So, you can see the variability. You see that this crown here, nice elongated leaflets and fronds, and then you can see here, very compact crown, more closely spaced leaflets, a little bit curvier. So both of these have been around since probably this complex has been around, and this area was probably built. There's this Venice Gardens Park sometime in the mid-70s, so these might be over 40 years old, and that's not surprising. Butias with this amount of trunk are rarely seen in this part of Florida. I wouldn't say they're rare, but they're uncommon. They've often been replaced by either queens or other for foxtails because of the finding of new species and just kind of replanting of, I guess, more tropical looking plants. Where in North Florida, I've seen the biggest specimens I've seen of this palm are actually in the North Florida, South Georgia area. It's amazing how big these can get up there, and they seem to love the weather. I think they like a nice hard freeze every year, to be honest. So anyway, the fruit on this is going to be very similar to a queen. These actually were all Butia were actually in the Syagris genus from 1970 until 1979, and they were taken out. I'm sorry, they were put in and then taken back out by the same botanist. So sometimes botanists need a job, and that may be to do something and then reverse it. I'm not knocking them. It's just sometimes they may feel like they have a new discovery on their hands and then realize that that wasn't what they thought. But creativity is important, and always trying to figure out where these plants actually lie in the world of genus and species. So as far as cold hardiness, again, because this palm will never see temperatures that would ever burn it, I would say 10-12 degrees Fahrenheit, so you're talking like -12 Celsius. I'm sure established specimens like this probably could take a little bit more. I'm sure people in the comments can say, yeah, I've seen some in the single digits Fahrenheit. So the seed, if you can see it's actually has starting to produce fruit here. This one doesn't seem to produce a lot of mature fruit though. I'm not sure why. Maybe it has animals that get to it, but it'll be a bright orange yellow color, and you can actually eat it. It tastes like a bland, or a little bit of not a bland, more of a unripe peach. Not that tasty, but it's definitely tastier than some other palm seed. I've actually I purchased 2 bottles of it's actually called the wine palm as well, because you can produce wine from the fruit of this palm, or it was produced at least in the southeast U.S. The 19th and 20th centuries. It's one of the worst bottles of alcohol I've ever purchased. It tasted terrible. I had 2 bottles. I gave one to family. The other one my friend and I tried to drink, and half a glass in, I couldn't handle it anymore. It was just so bitter, and maybe it was just poorly fermented, or however wine is made. I'm not really that familiar with the fermentation process, but it was absolutely terrible. And I'm not saying that all of this wine is terrible. I'm sure there are people that make great Pindo wine, and you can find it throughout the deep south. It's not common, but it's available. But anyway, the seed is going to be very similar to that of a queen palm. It's going to be all Butias have a real hard husk, like a coconut. It's like a miniature coconut, basically. It has 3 eyes to it. You want to be able to give it some high heat to get the germination process started, and well-draining soil, because these do grow in rocky, kind of mountainous areas where there is very good drainage. So, sorry, this view is not very good. You're getting a lot of a strangler fig and some old. These palms are not trimmed up or taken care of. They just grow here. They seem to love it. I've been looking at these palms since 2004. This one's definitely gotten bigger. It's probably gotten 5 feet of wood since then. So, if not more. But yeah, the fruit is. The seed does germinate well with high heat, and just give it well-draining soil is important. Don't give it too much water, but definitely let it sit in water. And yeah, that's about it for Butia. I'm trying to think of anything else that is of importance. They seem to be a host to a lot of other plants, like the Canary Island date palm, like Phoenix canariensis. You can see here there's a strangler fig on here, and there's some ferns, and that'll be very prominent as well as in just as much as in Canary Island dates. So yeah, I thought that was one of the county trucks that came to tell me that I can't film here, but that's not the case. So anyway, I'll leave it we're at 10 minutes here, so I'll let you guys go. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and see many more palm videos like this. And if you have any questions about Butia and its growth, especially in Florida, leave it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.